Daytime stocking. So some guys went to evenings, as you all know. Threw out there if anybody wanted to go to evenings. That is the way we're going to go forward to be efficient with stock. So what would be some of the reasons we want to be evening stocking? You want to throw those out there?
Hey, if the sucker's empty and you can fill it then instead of waiting for us. That's what it is.
I didn't hear the first part of your sentence.
It's not, it's empty, you can fill it.
Okay.
Fill it instead of waiting for us at 11 o'clock on.
So who that benefit?
That's us in sales.
Cool. What else?
Our profit.
Indirectly, yeah. What else?
Less work for the night crew.
Night crew will be consumables. That's all. A lot of nights. That's all you guys are getting to get through. Really. What else? So if there's more people in the evening, who else benefits?
Store.
And
Night crew.
the customer. Everything's resulting back to the customer. Because evenings, you got, in this case, the evening folks, there's 4 more people on the floor. GM side. If they're not there, how many people on GM side? Couple managers only. Really, that's what it's been lately. That's the way it works. So back in 1994, what happened? I'm going to give some history. 1994, what happened?
Stock split.
What's that?
Stock split.
Because of why?
I don't know.
It did, but why?
They needed revenue to expand.
How were they expanding? You're really
More
close.
stores. More stores.
Sam's Club? Big commitment?
What's that? They're open in Canada. Wal-mart came to Canada, bought Woolco. So who was in town, or who was the player in Medicine Hat at that time?
Well, it'd be called a
Zellers.
bargain shop now.
Zellers.
Zellers and
Kmart.
Kmart. Okay. So a customer at that point in time had Zellers and Kmart as your lowest price is the law. Right? Zellers. You had, say, let's go Sears, Safeway, the Bay would be other options on the higher end. IGA groceries, okay? You had Walmart comes into town and they are cheap, low cost. So now a customer has an option. Am I going to go to Zellers / Kmart that says the lowest price a lot, but here's this new guy that's cheaper? Or am I going to go to the higher end stuff, IGA, Sobeys, Safeway? So why should they go to Zellers? Why should they go to Kmart if these guys are already cheaper? Where's Kmart and Zellers now?
Gone history.
Because they didn't change. In Great Britain, anybody know the story in Great Britain in regards to Asda? 2 years ago? 3 years ago? Asda's there. It's obviously part of Walmart. They have a company called Sainsbury's. I might get the pronunciation wrong. Helen will correct me.
That's correct.
Oh, thank you. So Sainsbury's, you got Asda, and who came into town into Great Britain? They bought Asda. Aldi's the company's name. So Aldi is the low-cost guy in Great Britain. So now the customer has a choice of Asda, which said they were low price, or Aldi, who's really cheap, or Sainsbury, who is the higher end. What's happened to Asda now? They've lost a lot of market share because people are now making that choice. Why do we go there? Aldi's apparently is going to be coming to Canada, the States, 2 to 5 years. I don't know what time it is. So what's Walmart got to do? Bingo. Adapt and change. But you can't lower your prices after the fact because you won't do it right. So we got to be more efficient. Number one, we got to be more efficient to be able to afford to lower the prices because we're going to hammer the prices come week 34, which is usually what? Anybody's been here long enough? Anniversary tab. There's no anniversary tab this year. What? No anniversary tab.
Everybody looks forward to that.
Well, they're going to be looking forward to 1,000 new low prices. They're going to go hard on consumables on low prices. Hard. But none of this P&G truck and...
Yes.
Which was a nightmare. As I can tell from you guys, it was a nightmare. So it's kind of like, but what's going to ramp up? Consumables. So to do it right, to make the prices low, you got to be more efficient. So you do it on the front side as opposed to, okay, all these here now, we got low prices. You're not going to kind of keep your margin. You got a whole bunch of other stuff, ramifications that happen if you don't do it in a proper timeline. So we got to be on the front side. Who's going to benefit? Customers. And us indirectly, because you start losing market share, it snowballs.
And that's why whoever controls the inner city or knows how to solve the inner city problem where you have 40, 50,000 people living, you'll have to get the groceries. Like you can't have a big box store sitting in the downtown.
I'll agree with you there, because they're involved with a whole bunch of different formats for major centers. Lots of different formats. And they try it, that's the thing. So morphing that into now. So most efficient way that they've tested in a lot of, like down east, they tested 4 markets, approximately 15 stores on evening stocking. They actually started morning stocking, and now they found it's more productive to be evening. Morning, you got too many tasks going on. 717, getting the picks out, etc. Evenings, the stock comes in, you'll work it at that time. It's obviously going to change the way we unload the trucks. What's the best way to unload? If they're unloading the truck, it should go onto a rocket car as opposed to a skid, but to now take off the skid onto a rocket car and take it up. So we have to have enough rocket cars. So that's the thing that we're waiting for. So the stock comes in the evening. I need people to work that freight. That's where you guys come in. The opportunity to go to days, 311 shift, it's there for the taking if you want. Our mandate is to be at this daytime stocking by December 1st. It's to our benefit to be there sooner than later, but we have to have a whole bunch of pieces in place. The back room's got to be a little bit emptier. It's pretty good. Like we look at the back room and you kind of go, sucker, we're full. We had that much freight on the floor last year at this time, plus the top steel was full, plus the third tier was full. All we got is stock in the floor now. So it's pretty darn good. Freight flow is coming differently, and it's more efficient. So it's all about efficiency. So that's why I tried, initially they tried doing this evening stocking to help alleviate some of the GM freights. That's what backs you up. Consumable gets done all the time. So we dabbled in it. I even made that call. Great. At least I got to see some benefits of it, of which what was the negative to it? Freight's getting processed. Stock is on the floor for the customers. It was a win. It is a win. So now it's just a matter of I need approximately 10 people from nights to be on the evenings. So that's why I'm throwing it out to you guys, because I got to make this transition. So, if anybody wants to talk about it, you want to be here for a bit tonight, come see me if you wanted more information.
If it comes down to where all 2 stubborn go anywhere, how does that process?
How can I pay for all the hours? That's what it comes down to.
How do you
It's not a
choose
threat.
who stays?
You got to do the dollars. What?
How do you choose who stays?
I have to cross that bridge. I don't have that answer. I'd be lying if I said anything right now because I don't know. I just think there's a lot of smart people in there that would make that decision based on their lifestyle and needs. You had a question? I saw that finger go up. Like,
Yeah, well, you answered it. You answered it. Lifestyle needs. You answered it.
but people that stay on nights are consumables. That's all we process at night is consumables.
If you
So-
go to that evening shift part, you deduct the premium off the night.
The night premium you do not get if you go to the evenings.
So that's $1. Correct. Am I correct? Yes. Okay. So everybody
Ed had his
knows.
hand up first. You first, buddy.
Would the time change any? Like, I mean, it stays at 3 to 11? You
Yeah.
don't go 8 o'clock in the morning, it stays there.
It's going to be 3 to 11.
Okay, like most of the staff, in fact, the cruise ship, they're working the general, the GM side, right? Okay, so the customers still, that are in the store, some of them that are theft oriented, okay? So they can pick
There's
up.
nobody like that,
I know.
man.
So they can pick up the product on this side, then go over to the food side where nobody's gonna be,
Fresh always has people in there. That's one thing about it. Fresh has always got people.
because that's why you
during
find
daytime.
electronics, open packages, like,
If people are consistent or persistent enough, they're going to find a way to do
that's
it.
true, yeah.
They do.
I just
Those
thought
non-customers.
it was the extra staff that
Teams texting.
it's our problem. It's our problem.
And the other 3 of the things that you have to take an hour,
We could go with half an hour. We've tested it. The guys did a couple nights with an hour and a couple nights with half an hour. There's nothing that said you got to take an hour or a half an hour. It's going to be whatever works in your store. The 3-11 shift is non-negotiable to half an hour. I got zero issue with half an hour. I know on overnights half an hour is better. You get an hour and you kind of you're pooped. So half an hour, I can see that. That's fine by me on days or any.
Will they just be stocking or will
Yes.
they also be bidding?
No, the whole process, stocking and bidding, but not cash. Not till trade. What's that? Correct. That was one of the questions we had when I was at the meeting last week. Are they till trained? No. That's to get the freight up. Which is huge because some people don't want to be able to.
Still, like, there are 3 days or 2 days off, depends on sales.
Everything's dependent on sales. Still 2 days off, but they may not necessarily be in a row. It's not, I can't have a schedule that Monday to Friday. Some people may have that, but it could be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it could be Thursday, Saturday off, could be, because our customers shop every day of the week. Right now, heaven forbid those customers that shop on the weekends because we are bare bones with night crew on the weekends. We paint ourselves into that corner, and shame on us for treating our customers that way, because we don't have laws. I see a hand up there, or no? Or somebody going like this, shut up! So if you got more questions, you're more than welcome to come see me and we can go over it. If there's more details you don't want to talk in front of the people, it's up to you. If anybody wants to try this next week, please let me know, or Tiff know today, so we can make arrangements for the next week, Monday on.
Is this an attempt, not permanent?
Alright, I'll see what it's like. Whether you like it. Like right now is the tip of the iceberg of what that's supposed to look like. But I've seen the benefits. Like yesterday, I think you guys came, most of the GM was done. I think, that's what I was told. Because I know none of you guys like to go home at the end of your shift. Look what we left. Yeah, way to go. You probably feel pretty proud when you're tired. Still get freight before. You love to go home and see it empty. You see what you've accomplished. You always see freight there, you don't think you've got anything accomplished.
Norm, I've always been thinking that it should be 24 hours in the store, and this starts it.
This starts it. Once again, those customers get in the way, or the non-customers, but it's still a 24-hour process. Yes.
You know, because when I did that, I was in ICS, 7:30, we had the biggest bonus check ever, it was 1586, and it hasn't changed since.
But what changed back then? You had a very small store back in the old store.
Yeah, but
You had a lot less associates to share that wealth.
I'm going by, getting some freight out and getting the empties filled. That's what I'm going by. The 24-hour stocking that we did. The whole store was not to complain that, oh, you put that there or whatever. I'm getting detail on it. And all for one and one for all. Now it's
If everybody plays nice in the sandbox, it happens.
yeah, that's basically the morale was up. You know, his enthusiasm, etc. We could have that back again too. Right?
So that's all it is.
You stress out one crowd, you get all grumpy, right?
Okay,
Are we gonna be staying at 4 days a week on night crew?
right now 4 shifts. I can't change that, you guys. I don't know.
Is it dependent on sales?
Sorry.
Is it dependent on sales?
The budget, unfortunately, which comes first, chicken or the egg? Which comes first, sales or the wages?
Well, technically,
You get your wages and then you get a earned wages, which is based on what your sales were up or down. And our sales are down. As that market is soft. We all know that. Everybody's suffering it. We're feeling the pains too. This is the first time our store really has felt those pains, like big time. Is this year. Probably the worst year.
my guard, it costs the same amount as last year, this day, to run the store as today, am I correct?
Utilities, etc.
Not utilities, I'm talking about the whole thing, running the store. It costs
their expense line basically stays the same. Their expenses any given month are about $2 million, give or take. Anywhere from 1.5 to $2 million is your expenses. But you got to make that profit. And how do you get that profit? You have the sales. If you have the sales, life is good. If you don't have the sales, then you got to start looking at avenues to cut your expenses.
So you cut the hours to us, right? Everybody knows that, right? Did you cut the department managers' hours? Their hourly too, right?
There are certain areas, and they're the areas that don't get cut. Them, lead CSM, GSS, or OSA associate, Wendy, personnel. They don't get touched, or they don't get touched. That's the way it is. That may change. With that being said, it may change as we progress. I don't know that. I don't have visibility to that. It's about 38 levels above my pay.
Once Walmart is able to compete with Amazon on internet buying, okay, who gets credit for those sales?
We do. They have a trading. You wouldn't get post-code survey when they do it at tills. That's the determining of who, what is your trading area. So once they do the online sales, somebody buys something online, and it's 7 persons. That gets credit to Medicine Hat. If it's Maple Creek, that'd be is it Maple Creek Swift Current or Maple Creek Medicine Hat? I don't know. I'm not sure how wide our radius goes. But we do get credit for it.
Well, we should have an expanded area that people in Saskatchewan, and within an hour and a half, 2 hour drive, they can probably come to Medicine Hat once a week to buy lots.
We get lots of people, yeah.
Or whatever, right? So,
Leader, or Maple Creek.
that part, that area should really be looked at. Who gets credit for the sales?
They didn't tell me that the certain trading area, but that's how they determine it. Let's do that post-code survey. Sorry, they're asking a question.
What if I didn't say anything?
I said, oh, come on, bring it. Okay, if you want to come see me, whoever, you're more than welcome.
This meeting that you went to, we were told that...
Golden Quarter, that like last week?
Yeah, that the main thing that they were looking at is with the survey, one of the big questions was how head office was going to start looking after people who do not perform. What was the terms of that?
It's always been, you deal with your poor performers. Do we do a good job? By no means do we do a good job. We all know that. Do we do a good job of recognizing our good performers? By no means do we do a good job. And that falls on me, falls on Tim, falls on each other. Because you all hold each other accountable in a respectful manner. They always address that. They always say, hey guys, you got to do a better job with attendance, with performance, but they don't have any revelation. Just do what you're supposed to when it comes back to this.
Okay, but that was just a roundabout answer. What was the end result of the meeting that you guys were going to start doing, specifically onto this shift?
To this shift?
Well,
or any shift?
I don't care about the other shifts. I care about this shift. It's
That'd
none
be-
of my business what the first shift and the second.
First and foremost, it's got to be consistent. It's got to be fair. As soon as I get disciplined for whatever, it's not fair. It's not me. Would that be a fair statement, you guys? Nobody thinks to do anything wrong in their own eyes. Myself included. I don't do anything wrong. But I'm humble enough to say, hey, I made a mistake. Hold me accountable. That should be any of us.
Yeah, but now the thing is that I'm hearing rumors that
You're hearing rumors, okay?
Well, actually, one came from yesterday. It was a second-hand account. But
Second-hand?
But it included me, where I'm hearing that I may have to work weekends, and yet I have heard first-hand accounts of people over the summer that had to have their weekend shift off, and we're hearing all the time that Fridays and Saturdays is not getting the stock out because these people are taken off, or they're phoning in and so forth, and they're still here, and they're not getting disciplined. And then us veterans are who have the numbers, who are actually getting yelled at for overworking, are having to be told, now you gotta work the weekend to look after these other people? No. I think
Fair statement.
What should happen is more of what you talked at that meeting over the last week should actually come into some kind of accountability for the people that want to keep phoning in. If you guys are looking for something to do, then start telling these people. Then don't show up. If you don't feel that you're comfortable with working that weekend, then don't come in. And after about 2 or 3 paychecks of getting 2 or 3 days on their paycheck, they'll say, fine, I quit. And good, they're gone. You don't have to worry about any labor board thing. You have these people gone.
We have to do a better job holding them.
Yes.
I agree with you.
Well, what about rotating schedules? Well, so that like the newer people, like every once a month or every 6 weeks, they would have, the weekends off.
They tried
that would stop people from phoning in sick and all that type of stuff. Would that solve the problem?
The ones that phone in sick are going to be the ones that phone in sick. I'm sorry, they're going to have those bitches whether they got a rotating schedule or not. Those are just
That's the only
ingrained,
way.
but we have to do a better job of holding that accountable.
Because like in the old days, it took us 5 years to get to the weekend, because there's such a thing as so-called seniority.
Yeah.
Like it took 5 years for me to get weekends off and everybody else, And some people have been hired over the last couple of years where they say, oh, I can't work Friday, I can't work Saturday, whatever. Okay, you can still work here.
Once again, I said we take
It
ourselves
wasn't fair
into
to the
the
people that were here 4 or 5 years hoping to get weekends, So that was a issue.
Yeah, I agree with you.
We have to wait until
We
somebody
haven't been
quits.
perfect, don't get me wrong, we're not perfect by any means. But with the market 5 years ago, we were just trying to get people. It was tough to get people. Now with the market being pretty depressed, there's lots of applications.
And yes, it doesn't really have anything to do with the current conversation, but recently I've been hearing that when we find claims or stolen merchandise, we're just supposed to take it and put it right into claims, not tell them where it was found or anything like that.
It goes into claims to have it documented.
Like, doesn't that help with the security cameras if we actually say where we found it and the date?
Yeah, the security cameras for the most part, there's like about a dozen of them that are pan and tilt, which you can follow people around, that type of thing, and the most part are just stationary cameras. So if it's on there, the girls can sit and watch the camera for 8 hours a day or be on the floor and watch people for 8 hours a day.
But that's the whole thing, is that don't you guys have like a back wall of like a day or two?
On a back wall.
Like,
There is something that said that you're supposed to say where you find it.
That's always beneficial, but it doesn't, Jess and Wendy don't go and get that report. That's not, there's a bunch of other things that they have to deal with, other loss prevention aspects.
Isn't that
wouldn't that help with loss
an
prevention?
official?
It helps the external, but the majority of our shrink is internal, as in on-hand changes, not getting your merchandise that was sent in. The external shrink is a very small piece of our shrink, or external theft.
Alright,
So
so
small. It's the one that's most noticeable and frustrates the most. Go ahead.
just one last thing.
That's fine.
Is that when I was working paper camp, every week, like freaking clockwork, there was 2 DVDs of adults with variation and then 1 child DVD, right? And I actually took a record of how much money we were losing every week. We were losing up to $700, and that's coming out of us.
What's the difference with DVDs and movies now? What's going to happen, They're all going to pay for scan by the end of the year. What's pay for scan?
Not really sure.
We don't pay anything until it goes to the till. That's the movies or the vendors' merchandise till it's sold. Like your cards are like that, magazines are like that, the trading cards are like that. We don't pay for it until we sell it to the till. Movies, there's only 1 movie vendor right now that's pay for scan. 2 more go on the end of September and the rest go by the end of the year. So none of that movies will be our merchandise. It doesn't make it right, but it's not ours, it's the movie vendors. Cole and Frisch is supposed to be going, we're working on that too. Switch them pay for scan, which is a big saving when it comes to receiving it. And doing all that paperwork part. But not saying we shouldn't deal with that stuff. No, we still can do that. But that's getting rid of all that stuff.